What if what keeps us alive is something we barely see? Today we head east, where a quiet water body beneath the Kayankerni bridge breathes for us. Mangroves storing carbon, lagoons sheltering life, green canopy tunnels, brush pile fishing spots, and palm thatched huts where tradition endures. And from the Wattawan lagoon rises the ancient Mannadi stone bridge, a whisper of a royal past. These are the waters that sustain us. Welcome to Kaleidoscope. This week we honor World Rivers Day, where we pause, explore, and reimagine the world through stories that matter. I'm Savithri, Rodrigo. From the Kaleidoscope studios, Gayani Punchiheva, Nelun Harasgama and Preethi Hapuwatte, plus your rapid-fire weekly recap on CDB News in a blink. At the Barefoot Gallery, impermanence unfolded like a quiet whisper, a reminder that life is always shifting, always becoming. In this now concluded exhibition, artists Preethi Hapuwatte and Nelun Harasgama drew us into a world of colour, texture, and moments that appeared, transformed, and slipped away. Preethi's canvases pulsed with her own lived stories, her bright abstractions feeling almost alive. Nelun, long known for her solitary near-abstract figures, took an unexpected turn, looking at nature's cycles, tracing forms of fragility, resilience and renewal. Together their contrasting visions made impermanence more than an exhibition. It became a meditation, a beautiful reminder that in the constant dance of change there is wonder, there is life, and there is art. Find Kaleidoscope across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Follow, like and subscribe and never miss a moment. A big thank you to Ceylinco Life, CDB and the Daily Morning for powering the stories we share with you.
She wins with CDB Wings, exclusive financial solutions for women.
Fast, fresh and to the point. Welcome to your CDB News in a Blink weekly wrap. Sri Lanka's total exports reached 14,433.82 million US dollars in the first 10 months of 2025. Construction begins on the first ever indoor stadium in the Jaffna district. Sri Lanka will soon join the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership trade bloc. Commuters in Sri Lanka can now pay by card on certain routes on public buses. And here's how our markets fared this week. Lack of foreign buyers on the back of a depreciating Sri Lankan rupee saw the all share price index at the Colombo Stock Exchange drop to below 22,900 points. Oil prices dropped to near one-year lows of 58 US dollars per barrel on positive news of a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Gold prices moved up again to a one-month high of 4,150 US dollars per ounce as latest US data showed slowing retail sales and higher producer prices. China is to advance research on fusion burning plasma, in other words, the making of an artificial sun. The Haile Gobi volcano in Ethiopia erupts on Sunday after nearly 12,000 years. And to get your fill of onions in all its shapes, forms and sizes, Switzerland's Zerbelmarit or the Onion Market has started. It's the annual Richmond, Texas T-Rex run. Just watch them roar.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Ceylinco Life.
Welcome. This is Kaleidoscope Ceylinco Life Dialogues. Globally, just over half of all women are part of the labour force. In Sri Lanka, that number drops to around 31% compared to nearly 68% of men, leaving over 6.5 million working age women economically inactive. Many of them have stepped away from their careers for caregiving, and returning isn't easy. On Kaleidoscope Ceylinco Life Dialogues, we speak with Gayani Pujjiheva, founder of HelloAmma, Mom's Next Chapter, a fire circle by G Impact Venture helping mothers reskill, rebuild confidence, and re-enter the workforce, turning career breaks into powerful comebacks. What lit the spark for HelloAmma? Was it sort of your own story, or was it something that you saw happening and you thought, well, this must change?
Actually, this is not exactly my story per se, it's not a lived experience of mine, but I have seen this across everywhere. My friends, colleagues who actually had to pause their careers due to parenting or like choices they make to have kids, but unfortunately they are finding it very difficult to come back. So that is the reason that I thought of that I want to help them out with a pathway that open doors for them to restart their next chapter basically.
How wide is that gap between moms who want to return and employers who are ready to welcome them?
It's actually quite wide, I'm being very honest here, but at the same time the gap is two-way. There is an invisible gap holding back the moms of the lack of confidence. But at the same time, the employers, they know that they need to get these moms back, but they don't know how they have to do that. So they are struggling. So this whole concept is actually bridging that gap, bringing them ideas by opening a dialogue to identify new ways of connecting dots.
So you're actually talking about returnships, you're talking about flexible roles. These are all new things for Sri Lankan employers. How open are employers to this shift?
You would be surprised, Savithri, they are very open to this. And to see that actually some of the employers that I'm already in talks with, they already have in-house systems and places or like avenues for returnships and flexibility. I have come across employers who already have 4-day work days, who already allow flexibility in their workplace. So it's actually that it has not come into the mainstream, I would rather say. So, and there are some organizations who are still struggling to find how to incorporate these inclusive practices. So I think it's very positive. Even though there is a gap, even though there is a hesitancy, but I feel there's a very much of a positive and a welcoming, because the moment we open the conversation, they're ready to take the conversation forward.
What about remuneration for moms? Do they sort of get in the pay scale that they should be getting, or do they have to come like 1 or 2 notches down?
The flexibility and that understanding is totally between the employer and the mom, one how they present themselves and the talent requirement they have. But actually there are moms who have expressed that they don't mind even starting a little low to get up or to become in par with the workload that is happening right now. So there's no such a discrimination saying that, okay, you are a returning mom, that you have a 10 years of career gap, so we have to start low. The moment that the employer sees the value they bring in, they are open for the market rate.
Why do employers want mums who have been out of work, and why do they want them back?
One thing is that actually there is a notion or a perception that it's the work attitude or the attitude towards work by Gen Z is a bit compromising for the organizations. And the other thing is that there have been a very much of a high skilled migration that happened in the country recently, which has led so much of vacuum in the middle management. So these ladies who are coming back are the ones who have actually been in the middle management with years of experience. So it's very easy to reskill them and put them onto the roles. And also, again coming back to what I said about the special skill that the moms bring in. If you can get your kid get ready on time, a toddler, making sure that he's brushed his teeth, got ready on time with the clean clothes and go to school on time, mom is a super project manager, I would rather say. They know how to meet deadlines.
That's this week on Kaleidoscope, stories that stay with you, and we'll see you again next week.